Allow the sit bones to root down. Feel the heart lifted as you lean back ever so slightly to avoid any rounding or caving in of the chest or the heart. And just allow the hands to fall wherever they need to fall. Take a big breath in through your nose. Open the mouth, sigh it away. Another one like that. Big breath in. Big sigh out of the mouth. Last one. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it away. Gather a prayer at your heart space. And let's breathe in for the sound of Om 3 times. Let's first start in a hum though, keeping the lips sealed and experiencing this internal vibration, this internal teacher. So sweet, so soft, so simple, that lives deep within us, yet so powerful. We don't have to be professional singers to do this. We're all born with it. We're born with this ability, this growth to produce sound. So why not use it to help ourselves heal and grow and learn? Let's breathe in our humming Om. Take a moment here to bow your third eye down towards your prayer, towards your heart, towards your practice. Lift the head, open the eyes. Release the hands and come to lay on your back for Banana Asana. And I kind of look like a banana tonight with my new yellow shirt. I even made butternut squash soup today, since it decided to be winter again. Spread the arms wide. Create a nice big X at the center of your mat. Legs are spread wide as well. Take a breath in here. Stay for the breath out. When you're ready, cross the left ankle over the right. Left hand finds the right wrist. Allow your right cheek to gently fall towards your right armpit and close your eyes. Take a big breath in through the nose. Sigh out of the mouth. Beautiful. Tune into your breath. Specifically the breath that comes in around the belly, filling up through the belly, the ribs, even the belly button area. Feel the expansiveness reach onto all sides of you, the front of the belly, the sides of the belly, even your back, the lower back muscles. Let the breath fill in the gaps between you and the floor, reminding yourself of how expansive you can be. And the breath doesn't have to just exist in one part of us. Right? It can be this focused attention in the belly space. It could be this focused attention in the heart space, or in the back like we were just talking about. And like those humming ohms that we started class with, explore those here while your whole body is being supported by the earth. Enjoy those reverberations that you've created, that you're sending out from yourself into the world, into space, energetically. Feel them bounce right back at you, right? Because we're grounded. The more we connect to the earth or to our props, which are, I guess, DIY earth, right? Do it yourself, kind of bringing the earth to you, as we like to say in any yoga class, right? The props are not there to hinder you or make you feel like you can't do something. It's actually there to make it more possible for you to do something. And then move on from there. Take a big breath in here. Flutter through the lips. Release the feet. Release your hands. Find your way back through center. Pausing there for a moment. Just a brief one. Noticing the difference between the sides, and then taking the right ankle to cross over the left. Right hand finds the left wrist. Allow the left cheek to fall towards the left armpit, as long as that's safe on your neck, of course. Close the eyes and take a breath in. Settle on the breath out. And just melt. Ooze into this banana asana pose, which can feel so good after a busy day. Right? I love taking this one at the end of the day because it's so grounding. Quite literally, our whole back body is on the ground, it's on the earth, while still reaping the benefits of compressing certain areas of the body to work digestion and circulation, blood flow, oxygen flow, and sending it to the parts of us that need it most. Right? Redirecting the flow, inspiring the flow. Right? We do these shapes in yoga, no matter what form of yoga, to get the breath moving in parts of us that it doesn't usually get to explore. Right? Hence why we get tense or tight muscles, joints are tight or irritated, right? It's because we've stopped the motion, and yoga helps us keep things in motion. It keeps the mobility. It prevents what's the word I'm looking for? Deterioration, actually. Bone deterioration. It helps prevent that. And helps to continue with the lubrication of the joints, right? Keeps them well hydrated. And we could all use it, no matter who we are, no matter what's going on in the body. Take a big breath in. Flutter on the breath out. Just a few more moments here in this banana asana. I want you to further explore your sound, explore your inner teacher, which is your voice. Breathing in through the nose. And then humming on the breath out. And just noticing where those vibrations travel to. Right? Where do they go? Where do you feel it vibrate within you? Do you feel it in the back of the head, or in the hips or the thighs? Where do you feel it? Get in touch with yourself, communicate with yourself. A little less than half a minute left. I've started teaching live and in person again, vinyasa, and I had my first class this morning over at Laughing Lotus, aka now known as LL Studio, and we do it virtually as well as in person. And it was nice. There was only a couple people in class. It is limited to a select few to keep things safe and realistic to the current times and situation. But I gotta say, it was a real honor to be back in the presence of people and to, get that bounce back of when you give these cues in to take a breath in, right? And then to hum on the breath out, to hear the people experience that. And to really jive with it, right? Because they got into it and they started humming and the room was just filled with hums. It was really music to my ears. It was beautiful to be back in that space again. So that being said, we're finishing up with our banana asana. Take a breath in, explore your breath, explore your sound on the breath out. Release the feet. Release the hands. Find that X at the center of your mat. Take a big breath in. Flutter on the breath out. Legs zip up together, then step your feet to the ground one by one. Pull your knees into your chest. Any sort of movements that feel good, maybe circles in one direction. If you're doing that, make sure to take it in the opposite. And then you can either rock and roll forward and back to come to sit, or you can rock over to one side and press up. All right, we're gonna come to our shins. Ooh, got a little tangled here. Grabbing our blocks, all fours to start. Blocks on the lowest setting. Step your right knee to the center of your mat. Cross your left knee back behind it. And both knees and shins are grounded, but I am snuggling the left knee in right behind the right knee. I'm widening my feet as wide as my mat, and my hip points are both traveling forward. And I'm gonna hang out here and take a couple movements. That felt nice today when I was going through this practice, through the movements. Maybe shifting forward and back feels better to you, but explore. Just feeling out the hips. This is a rather compressed hip, inner and outer hip opener. We're eventually going to come to sit our hips back, taking our blocks, One will come underneath our seat, and the other one you might prop underneath that top knee to maybe relieve a little bit of pressure if there's any pressure or discomfort in the knee. I've just liked it there because I feel supported. Point blank. It feels very uplifting. Excuse me. Your hands can find your feet or rest in your lap. Close the eyes. Take a big breath in. Open the mouth, sigh it away. So we're sitting up nice and tall on our blocks. The legs are bound, but the heart is free. Continue to further connect with your breath, even though we aren't as grounded anymore. We're having to explore what it means to be our own support for the breath, for our own breath. And since we had a little practice being grounded and what it felt like having that resistance of the earth beneath us with the weight of our bodies pressing into the earth, right, and vice versa, that duality. Now that you've explored those sensations on the earth, see if you can explore them here upright. What does it mean to breathe into your back, right? What does it mean to breathe into the side body? What does that feel like? What do we have to do? How do I breathe into my lower back? Maybe instead of expanding the belly forward, right, there's more of this internal expansion that just gets sent towards the low back area, right, towards the mid back area, towards the ribs, into the side body. So dimensional. Half a minute left here in this shoelace pose. Check in and make sure you aren't holding on or tightening or giving yourself any unnecessary resistance or holds. Let's find a breath in through the nose. This time, on the breath out, almost like you're shushing for silence, shushing for quiet. Another one, big breath in. And then really nice. Slowly make your way forward onto hands and knees, lifting your hips away from the block, and stepping your left foot back, leg is long. You might pulse through the leg, pulse through the heel, shifting the weight forward and back. And then switching out the legs, right? Tucking the other toes under, shifting forward and back. Gentle through the hamstrings, gentle through the knee joint as well. Since we were rather compressed in the knee joint area, we want to be Just want to be gentle. Try not to hyperextend the knee joint, keeping a little bend. Nice. And then we'll switch out the legs once you've made any sort of movements. Ooh, this might feel good. Circles in the hips, right? Anything you might like. We're going to make our way into shoelace on the left side. So this left knee comes to the center. I snuggle the right knee right up behind it. My knees and shins are grounded. Ooh, need those blocks though under the hands. Should have mentioned that. Your feet are as wide as your mat. And little movements here, right? Forward and back, or those circles. Yeah, or if you might just be ready to sit in it, right? I see it. Wonderful. If you're ready for it, go for it. Right? Traditionally in the yin practice, there isn't much warming up. I just enjoy taking the time to transition. It's been a beautiful learning experience to know how to counteract or counter stretch some of these poses. So allow the hands to fall wherever feels good. Allow the eyes to close and settle into your pose. Take a breath in. Breath out. And you know, I have to say that, you know, it was so beautiful to be back in the presence, you know, in person, and, you know, being in one another's space and energy, even though at a safe distance, of course. It was great hearing everyone's voices just go through the motions, go through the hums, exploring their sound, exploring their breath. Very gratifying, I have to admit it. And that does not mean that this virtual world is anything less. It's quite the contrary, because it's given us the opportunity to explore these sounds in the privacy of our own spaces, right? You can hit that mute button and make all the sounds you want. No one on the other end would ever know, right? So totally shameless, right? Super special moments, right? Even though it's been a very rough year for everyone, a lot of loss, but also a lot of gain and a lot of lessons. Right. So let's try to come out of, or not come out of, let's come into this world with change and new perspective and different ways of how to better care for ourselves and be more open to new things. Because you never know. You never know the joy it could bring, the learning experience, learning of self, or of the world, or of others. There's so much to be grateful in this world. So much to be grateful for. Why not be more curious about it? Last breath in for your shoelace pose. And then as you breathe out. One more, breathing in. And then Nice. Open the eyes and shift your weight forward off of your props. Take them with you this time, since we forgot them last time. It's nice to have them nearby. Lengthen the right leg back, tuck the toes. Shift the weight forward and back, forward and back. Switch out the legs. Pulse. And then blocks to the side for now. We'll grab our bolster. Take it down almost towards the top of our mat, leaving a little bit of space for our arms to come up and over for Sphinx pose. Our torso lays on the bolster so that the heart feels supported and lifted. Arms are parallel, shoulder distance apart, spread the fingers wide. Let the hands be soft on the ground, palms are supple. Even roll the fronts of the shoulders back and reach the heart forward. You may even shimmy yourself onto the bolster a little bit more. Keeping the hips grounded and heavy, melting towards the earth. Close the eyes, take a breath in. Sigh on the breath out. Every pose is different. You can never expect your sound, your resonance, to resonate the same, right? Or like in the same place of the body every time, right? Every time we're in a pose, it's different from the last. So when we resonate, something else shows up for us. We feel it in a different part of the body, maybe, right? Or maybe we notice it in a part of the body. So explore and experiment. Same goes with the pitch, not necessarily the note of the hum, but just the highs and lows, exploring what it feels like to hum low. Let's try it. Breathe in. And then hum. Not too low. You don't want it to feel so chesty where you're like, oh my God, this is like in my throat. But you want it to kind of float through the body so that it feels free to move through you. Then you try it high, not too high. Breathe in. And it just slides, right? Sliding through tones, lows to highs, highs to lows, sometimes lows to lows, right? For me, it's definitely, I love the low tones. I really feel the low tones. Half a minute left here in the Sphinx pose. You may want a little bit more. If that's the case, you can widen the hands, fingers turn out, press down into the palms to lift the elbows. Try not to hyperextend. And allow the heart to continuously travel forward. Back of the neck is long as well. Right? If there's any pinching that occurs, that's a insight into you need to create a little bit more length. Right? Avoid any crunching of the back of the neck or unnecessary compression of the spine. Take a breath in here. Flutter on the breath out. Nice. Lower the forearms. And hands to the ground. Press yourself up, all fours. Remove your bolster. Put it to the right side of your mat. Almost towards the back of your mat. Come onto your bellies. It's a half frog. So you're creating kind of this square-like shape with the right hip and the right knee. The hip is in line with the knee, and then the knee in line with the ankle. And then the foot just gets to relax. You'll lay your torso on the ground, cactus, your arms, left cheek comes to rest. Take a breath in here. Sigh on the breath out. Make sure your shoulders aren't crowding the sides of your neck or your ears, but that you feel spacious. If you need more opening in the arms, or just if you'd like more expansiveness, maybe you just open the arms. That'll give you more space. You won't feel as crowded by the arms. Of course, the goalpost, or aka the cactus, is a little bit more of a shoulder opener. You'll feel it actually in the front of the shoulder girdle. Another great opportunity. Here we are, completely on the ground. Take advantage of the healing capabilities of your voice. Breathing in through the nose, and then humming on the breath out. And then almost, as you hum, you try to go with it as long as the breath lasts, right? You hum for as long as the breath lasts, so you kind of squeeze it out like a sponge. And even then, see where the breath goes, right? See how far you can stretch the breath in the farthest corners of your being. Where can that breath go, right? Yes, being in this pose does a lot. And yes, we can do more. We can explore further. And I say explore a lot because it makes it more fun. It is an exploration of the body, the mind, the heart. Love, forgiveness, family, fun, youth, curiosity. You learn to laugh at yourself. You learn to learn from yourself. Forgive yourself. Get mad at yourself and then forgive yourself. Right? You just go through it. It's a beautiful practice to be able to come to and bounce off of and learn from time and time, over and over again. Yum, yum, yum. Explore words. See what feels yummy delicious. I had someone tell me today after class that class was yummy, right? From the hums. See what it feels like to just say yummy in this position. Yum, yum, yum. Yummy, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. And it's okay if it sounds groggy. As long as it feels good, that's all that matters. If you'd like a little deeper neck stretch, you can take your right cheek to the ground. Gaze is in the opposite direction of your bent knee. And if you do that, hang out for at least a breath or two. Try to further relax that right shoulder. It definitely has a tendency to want to compensate for the neck. So relax it, let it go. Relax, relax. If you took the different direction of your gaze, allow it to come back in the direction of your bent knee. And then everyone gather the palms to your center of your mat. Stack one on top of the other. Third eye comes to rest. Slide your leg back to the center of your mat if it was on a prop or not. Shimmy the hips from side to side. Maybe bend the knees, windshield wiper. I often find that the windshield wiper is a nicer, more forgiving option if you have sensitive knees. It also gets into the belly more, right? When we put a little bit more weight into the hips. Feet come to the ground. Hands underneath your shoulders. Maybe a little baby cobra here. Why not? And then press the ground away, all fours. We'll take that bolster to the left side of our mat. And we'll set up for frog on the left side, half frog. Bringing your left leg onto the bolster, just as you did on the other side. Of course, and I totally forgot to mention this, of course, if you do not need the bolster, you do not have to use it, right? This pose is delicious no matter what. And you're gonna get the benefits if you're using the props or not. Allow your right cheek to find the ground. Find the arm variation of your choice. And settle into it. Melt in. Get comfy. This is such a restorative yin pose. Even though I don't think it's really in restorative. I love it. It's great. It's so relaxing. So soothing. So explore your voices. I'm going to give you the space to do so. The silence. half a minute left here. See what else you can let go of. Big breath in. And then hum. Actually, totally forgot to take the gaze in the opposite direction. We can stay for a few more moments. If you took it in the opposite direction, go ahead and do it. We've got the time. No worries. We can definitely afford to stay here for a moment more. Enjoy at least 2 to 3 rounds of breath here with your gaze in the opposite direction, just so that we balance out both sides of the body, both sides of the neck. Both our masculine and feminine side, our action and nurture. And then when you've completed your rounds of breath, take your gaze back in the direction of your bent knee, pausing there. And then collecting your palms to the center of your mat, one on top of the other, third eye to rest. Slide your legs towards the midline. Shimmy the hips or bend the knees and windshield wiper. Side to side, side to side. Take a big breath in. And then sigh on the breath out. You know, just like you're sighing into the pillow. Again, it doesn't matter what it sounds like. Little baby cobra. And then press yourself up and out. All fours. Come to a seat. And we'll set up for the next pose. Yes. Heart bench. Wonderful. We're going to take our blocks into this T position, one at the highest setting and one at the medium setting. Then your bolster is going to come behind your thighs. Back is facing the blocks. And knees point up towards the sky, feet to the ground. Hands to the ground outside your blocks. Slowly recline onto them. And you might have to shimmy them around some to find the sweet spot. But basically the medium one is just behind your shoulder blades. There should be no pinching in the low back. No pinching at all, actually, anywhere. And then the other block is just catching your head. When you're fully reclined and you've found your comfortable position of the blocks, allow the knees to open in this reclined Baddha Konasana. Yes, reclined Baddha Konasana is what it is. Close the eyes. Allow the hands to fall out towards the sides, palms face up. Take a breath in. Sigh on the breath out. And surrender to your props. Trust that they will hold you. Once again, I'm going to give you this pose, some space, some silence and softness so that you have the space to go deeper. To be the seeing eye, to be your own teacher into what you need right now. Last breath in. Sigh out. Step the feet to the ground one by one, bending the knees. Hands come down, press into them to help yourself upright. I could have stayed there. I don't know about you. All right, we're going to come into our final pose, which is deer pose. Another goodie, another juicy one. So this time we're going to take our bolster down the center of our mat. Blocks to the side, we'll no longer need them. Take your blanket and put it between your legs. Option to stack the knees. I prefer to stagger them. There's a little bit more of a twist there. It'll be a little bit deeper of a twist as well as an opening. But it's also a little bit more available, I think, to everyone to stagger the legs than it is to stack. But choose what feels right to you. We're starting on the left side, so left hip to the bolster. Right, so we're calming, we're cooling, nurturing moon side. Hands will frame the bolster. Breathe in, lift the heart, lift the gaze. As you exhale, slowly begin to walk your hands forward, lowering your forearms down. Make sure your hips stay grounded and that the only thing coming onto the bolster is your torso. You can always hang out here if you need to. Slowly work your way in, hanging out on the forearms. But when you're ready, then you'll just rest. Your left cheek will find the bolster. Again, our gaze is in the direction of the knees that are bent. And you can cactus the arms here and reach them as far forward as you'd like. I was exploring this today and it felt really, really nice to reach them further forward, getting a lot of length on the side bodies. But play around, see what feels right to you, and close the eyes. Soften and go in. Inhale through the nose. Gentle flutter of the lips. If you are reclined onto your bolster, maybe slightly tuck your chin inward, almost like you're curling in to quiet your space a little bit more. And you already know. Explore those sounds. Explore your sound. Less than a minute left. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to sit. Slowly make your way over to the other side. Right hip comes to the bolster. Stay quiet. Stay sweet. Stay simple. Hands frame the bolster. Maybe a little inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, lower the torso, the forearms. Maybe the heart, and then the right cheek. Hips stay grounded. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breath in and a breath out. Slowly make your way out of your deer pose. Remove your props and make your way into Shavasana, corpse pose. The pose of reflection. And the pose of shedding a layer. Receiving the benefits and the shifts of your practice. Really nice. Prop up as much as you need for your Shavasana, maybe anything behind the knees, blankets, bolsters. Get cozy. start to breathe a little deeper. And return back into the room, back into your bodies. Slowly wiggling your fingers and your toes, stepping your feet to the ground one by one, bending the knees. Reconnect with the earth beneath your feet. Pull your knees into your chest and then rock over to your left side. Pausing there. And then pressing your way up to sit. Finding a prayer at your heart. Let's close practice the same way we opened. The sound of our humming Om, grown from the inside and then outside of us. Let's send it out. Breathe in. Bow your third eye down to meet your prayer, honoring your practice and your voice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hmm.